When one rises to speak of mastery over money, one does not rise merely to speak of coins or numbers, but of command, intention, spiritual decree, and the laws that govern the invisible currents that bring riches into form. Wealth is not a thing, it is a vibration. It is not accumulated by struggle, it is summoned by certainty. It does not respond to fear, but to authority. And when you stand here today, whether you realize it or not, you stand as an authority over the substance of the universe, a being endowed with the power to call forth supply as easily as you call forth breath, for the same source created both. Money is not earned by toil alone. It is shaped by the invisible architecture of your consciousness. Many have worked hard and gained little, while some have worked lightly and gained everything. This proves that wealth arises not from effort but from alignment, not from strain but from spiritual command. True mastery over money begins with the revelation that money has no will of its own. It cannot argue, it cannot resist, it cannot rebel. It is obedient, neutral, and responsive to the tone you set toward it. If you fear it, it flees. If you resent it, it recoils. If you idolize it, it eludes you, for you cannot worship what you must command. But if you speak to it as a sovereign, if you affirm its loyalty, if you declare its rightful place in your life as a servant of your purpose, then it becomes a faithful companion, always returning, always multiplying, always moving in perfect circulation. Every word you speak on the subject of money is an instruction. Every thought you hold is a decree. You are broadcasting at all times, and the universe, which is exquisitely attuned to the impressions of your mind, rushes to materialize the vibration you offer. If you say, money is difficult, you activate difficulty. If you say, money slips away, you animate loss. But if you affirm with conviction that money flows to you in increasing measure, if you speak as one who has already received, if you claim the abundance that belongs to your spiritual identity, then prosperity must manifest in the outer world, because the universe cannot defy the inner command when it is spoken with authority and unwavering faith. To master your money is to master your internal conversation. The moment you shift that conversation, your entire financial reality rearranges itself. Some believe this rearrangement happens slowly, but that belief itself slows it. Supply is instantaneous in the invisible realm, ready to appear the moment you erase the inner conflict that blocks it. The only time required is the time it takes for you to believe without trembling. The instant you do, the instant you claim wealth as naturally as you claim oxygen, the outward world begins to bend, opportunities rearrange, doors open, forgotten channels revive, unexpected blessings emerge, and money, once elusive, now seeks you with eagerness. Wealth is a spiritual substance. It is everywhere, present in every atom, every moment, every breath of possibility. But to command it, you must speak the language of the universe, certainty, imagination, and spiritual authority. When you envision money flowing freely to you, you are not fantasizing, you are transmitting instructions into the fabric of reality. When you declare yourself prosperous, you are not pretending, you are aligning with your original divine identity. When you bless your money, you magnetize it. When you bless the wealth of others, you multiply your own. When you refuse to entertain fear, you cut off the roots of lack before they can take hold. Money responds to energy more than action. When your energy says, I am always provided for, opportunities appear that you did not plan, assignments open that you did not seek, channels unveil that you did not previously perceive. When your energy says, I need money desperately, the universe mirrors back situations that confirm desperation. That is why the first step in mastering money is to eliminate emotional urgency and replace it with spiritual composure. Composure is magnetic. Composure says, I know who I am and I know what I command. Composure carries the vibration of inevitability, and money gravitates toward inevitability. You must realize that wealth is not outside of you waiting to be acquired, it is within you waiting to be released. The world is merely the screen upon which your consciousness projects its inner decree. If you say inwardly, I am abundant, the world must mirror abundance. If you hesitate and say, I hope I become abundant, the world mirrors hesitation. When you say, money belongs to me, not out of arrogance but out of spiritual truth, the universe affirms that belonging by arranging supply in your path. Wealth is a reflection of certainty. Money is an echo of your inner proclamation. When you walk through life, walk as one who already possesses the keys to endless multiplication. The substance of the universe is inexhaustible. No matter how much you receive, more remains. No matter how much is withdrawn, abundance remains undiminished. To believe that you could ever run out is to forget the infinite nature of the source from which supply flows. When you fear loss, you turn your back on infinity. But when you fear nothing, when you stand rooted in the knowing that wealth is your divine inheritance, then you unlock channels that the fearful never see. Money does not come through effort alone. It comes through alignment with the laws of circulation. You must give with certainty and receive with openness. You must release without anxiety and gather without guilt. Some people repel wealth because they feel unworthy of it. Yet unworthiness is a learned lie, a false illusion, a distortion that shrinks the self-image. Worthiness is inherent. You were born worthy. You were created worthy. The source that formed you did not create you for lack or limitation, but for expression, expansion, and realization of abundance. Wealth is not a privilege. It is a divine capacity. And when you embrace your worthiness, wealth begins to pour toward you like a river that has been waiting to break through. When you speak of money multiplying forever, understand that multiplication is the natural contract of abundance. Money desires to grow. It desires to expand. It desires to circulate. It desires to fulfill its purpose as a tool for creation, comfort, and contribution. But it cannot multiply in an atmosphere of fear. It multiplies in the atmosphere of trust. When you trust that wealth flows, wealth flows. When you trust that money returns increased, money returns increased. When you trust that every dollar you release will come back multiplied, the universe obeys your trust. Your imagination is the workshop of your financial reality. The unseen is always more powerful than the seen, because the unseen shapes the seen. If you imagine lack, you sculpt lack. If you imagine wealth, you sculpt wealth. Your mental images are blueprints, your feelings are the fuel, your words are the orders, and the universe is the builder that constructs whatever design you hand it. So hand it a design worthy of your spirit. Hand it a design filled with prosperity and calm assurance. The moment you begin to speak in sacred authority, money flows to me in increasing measure. I command wealth to multiply forever. I am the vessel through which abundance expresses. The entire spiritual machinery of the universe begins to move. Forces rearrange, paths widen, people appear, ideas spark, alignments form. The outer world bends to accommodate the decree you have spoken. You are not a passive observer in your financial life. You are the architect, the conductor, the sovereign. And if you have ever wondered why money felt difficult, it is because you were taught to negotiate with your power instead of using it. You were taught to apologize for your desires instead of affirming them. You were taught to shrink so that others would be comfortable. But abundance requires expansion. Wealth requires declaration. Prosperity requires courage. The courage to believe in your own spiritual authority more than you believe in the illusions of physical circumstance. Even now, your energy is speaking. Your aura is broadcasting. The universe is listening. Align your broadcast with certainty, and the universe must obey. Declare that you are a magnet for unlimited wealth. Declare that money seeks you out. Declare that channels open for you. Declare that everything you spend returns multiplied. Declare that unexpected blessings arrive constantly. Declare that you live under divine supply. Speak it, not as a wish, but as a law. As you move through the unseen corridors where ideas form before they manifest, feel the atmosphere of abundance responding to your inner command. Feel the subtle yet undeniable shift that occurs when you no longer ask for wealth timidly, but summon it with regal certainty, as one who knows that the universe bends to the tone of their inner decree. When you speak to money with confidence, you awaken the spiritual intelligence within it, the encoded impulse that drives it to circulate, gather, and return to the one who commands it. Money is not merely currency, it is concentrated intention, and when your intention is clear, untroubled, and unwavering, the substance of the universe flows into form around you. fulfilling your words with precision. There is an invisible law that states, what you recognize you magnetize. If you recognize lack, you attract it. If you recognize delay, you create it. But if you recognize abundance even before it shows itself, if you claim prosperity before a single sign appears, you become a magnet to wealth. The recognition precedes the manifestation. The inner knowing precedes the outer unfolding. This is the way the universe operates, first in spirit, then in substance, first in the unseen, then in the seen. And once you honor this order, you become a master of money, rather than a seeker of it. Many live their lives in fear of money running out. But nothing can run out when it is drawn from an infinite source. Only the belief in limitation creates limitation. Only the belief in struggle creates struggle. When you decide, truly decide, that you no longer participate in beliefs of insufficiency, you sever the cords that tether you to financial instability. You rise into a different vibrational reality, where wealth is natural, expected, and almost effortless in its arrival. And once you rise into that reality, money multiplies because it is no longer impeded by the friction of fear. You must speak to your money as one who knows the sacred power of the word. Words are not casual, words are commands. When you say, "My money expands constantly," you are not hoping, you are instructing the spiritual substance of wealth to multiply. When you affirm, "I am aligned with continuous prosperity," you are not trying to convince yourself, you are aligning your energy with the frequency that manifests prosperity as naturally as sunlight manifests warmth. Every word you speak is a seed, and every seed produces after its kind. Your financial life changes the moment you stop speaking from your current conditions and begin speaking from your spiritual truth. Conditions shift, truth remains. Conditions fluctuate, spiritual identity is immovable. So do not let temporary appearances dictate your language. Speak from the realm of infinite supply, and the realm of supply will reveal itself. Money is never the cause, it is always the effect. And when you alter the cause within, your thoughts, your vibration, your declarations, the effect must follow with mathematical certainty. To command wealth to multiply forever, you must see yourself as the center of your financial universe. Everything radiates from you. Money does not come to you by accident, it comes by assignment. It arrives because you called it, and it stays because you respect it. Respecting money does not mean fearing scarcity or clinging tightly, it means acknowledging its purpose. Money exists to circulate, to create, to expand possibilities, to support your divine assignment. It is not meant to be hoarded in anxiety or spent in guilt. It is meant to be used with clarity, intention, and spiritual authority. When you release money with confidence, you signal to the universe that you trust the law of return, and that law never fails. What you send out returns multiplied, what you give in faith returns with increase. When you spend with joy, money responds with joy, and when money returns in multiplied form, it carries the vibration with which it was released. That is why anxiety repels wealth and gratitude attracts it. The vibration you release is the vibration that returns. There is a profound moment in every person's financial awakening when they realize that money has been waiting for them, not the other way around. Waiting for them to claim, waiting for them to declare, waiting for them to step into the identity of abundance. Money is drawn to clarity. It is drawn to vision. It is drawn to those who know what they desire and command the universe with unwavering conviction. When you say, "I expect wealth," you are not making a request, you are igniting the spiritual circuitry that brings wealth into form. The universe is responsive, alive, intelligent. It does not resist your prosperity, it awaits your permission to deliver it. Money flows where it is welcomed. It multiplies where it is blessed. It expands where it is given direction. When you neglect to claim your prosperity, money rests idle. But when you call it forth, it rises to meet your command. For wealth is a servant of your consciousness, not a ruler of your fate. There are many who chase money, but chasing money is the admission that you believe money has power over you. Money should chase you because your vibration calls it. Your certainty summons it. Your boldness magnetizes it. You must not walk in the world as one pleading for financial relief, but as one radiating financial sovereignty. Speak as a sovereign. Act as a sovereign, think as a sovereign, and money will treat you as one. The universe responds instantly to inner shifts, though the physical manifestation may take form gradually depending on the strength of your belief. But do not mistake the gradual for the uncertain. When a decree is made, the result is set in motion. The moment you declare, "Money flows to me now," the invisible realm begins restructuring circumstances in your favor. People who have never thought of you before begin thinking of you. Paths that were blocked begin opening. Delays dissolve. Ideas arrive in flashes of inspiration. The universe rearranges itself around the vibration of your decree. Feel now the energy of money flowing to you. Not slow, not limited, not hesitant, but flowing with the momentum of inevitability. Feel the invisible river of wealth turning in your direction, gathering power, gaining speed, answering your command. Feel the certainty rising in your body, the calm authority of someone who has mastered the spiritual laws of abundance. You are not at the mercy of the material world. You are a conductor of the spiritual forces that shape it. And if doubt arises, dissolve it quickly. Doubt is the only enemy of wealth. Not circumstances, not timing, not the economy. Doubt. Doubt blocks the channels. Doubt interrupts the vibration. Doubt slows the manifestation. But the moment you cast out doubt with a decisive affirmation, the channels reopen. Say, "I trust my supply. I trust the law. I trust the source that sustains me." When trust becomes your default state, prosperity becomes your default reality. You were not created for financial struggle. You were created to command wealth, to expand, to give generously, to live freely, to experience the fullness of life without fear of lack. When you reclaim this truth, your financial life transforms, not gradually, not partially, but completely. Money begins to obey you. Wealth begins to flow to you. Opportunities begin to present themselves in ways you could not have predicted. You step into the identity of a master of money, a sovereign of abundance, a commander of spiritual supply. And even now, as you hear these words, wealth is responding. Ideas are forming. Energetic gates are opening. Financial blessings are shifting into position. Because the universe responds not only to what you say, but to what you become. And you are becoming one who commands wealth to multiply endlessly. Money is moving. Money is gathering. Money is aligning, and all of it is coming toward you. You need only continue to speak the word of authority. You need only continue to stand in the vibration of abundance. You need only continue to claim what has always belonged to you. As the river of abundance flows, recognize that your mind is the source of all currents. Every thought is a channel, every belief a tributary, every word a decree that shapes the landscape of your financial life. You are the architect of this invisible domain, the master of its tides, the sovereign whose awareness directs the flow. Money does not wander aimlessly, it responds to the intelligence you cultivate within. To master it, you must first master yourself, your vision, your expectation, your unshakable certainty that abundance is your natural state. As you command it internally, the universe echoes your command externally, and all that you need, all that you desire, begins to manifest without struggle, without resistance, without delay. Do not underestimate the power of your imagination, for it is the blueprint of your future. When you imagine yourself wealthy, when you feel the ease and comfort of financial freedom, when you see money multiplying in your mind as though it were already yours, the unseen realm responds instantaneously. It begins to organize, to align, to orchestrate events and circumstances that will bring your vision into tangible form. Every inspired idea, every sudden opportunity, every fortuitous encounter is the universe responding to the energy of your inner decree. You are the magnet, and the material world is the iron, irresistibly drawn to your command. Understand this: money is never limited. It is the reflection of an infinite source, a boundless intelligence that moves according to spiritual law, not human limitation. Scarcity exists only in minds that believe in limitation. Prosperity exists in minds that acknowledge the abundance that is the natural condition of existence. When you align your consciousness with the infinite, when you affirm your worthiness, when you declare your divine right to financial freedom, you trigger a cascade of manifestation. Money multiplies endlessly because it is infinite in its essence. only your perception can impose limits. Remove the limits, and the universe responds by removing them in reality. Release all fear around money. Fear binds, fear constricts, fear repels. When you worry, when you panic, when you doubt, you send a vibration of lack into the world. The universe, ever obedient to the tone you set, returns the same vibration. Instead, breathe deeply, feel your sovereignty, declare your abundance with unwavering authority, and watch how the tides of prosperity respond. Money flows to those who command it with composure and certainty, not to those who plead or tremble. Stand firm in your knowing that supply is infinite, and watch the invisible machinery of the universe. Labor tirelessly to bring your words into form. You must see yourself as the epicenter of your financial reality, the conductor of the orchestral forces that govern supply and circulation. When you give, give with faith, knowing that the universe returns multiplied. When you receive, receive with gratitude, knowing that your reception honors the spiritual law of abundance. Every transaction, every decision, every thought is an opportunity to reinforce the flow of wealth. Treat each dollar as a sacred instrument in the symphony of your life, and you will find that money, like a devoted follower, multiplies and serves your higher purpose. Never be afraid to claim unexpected blessings. The universe has an infinite capacity to deliver in ways you could never anticipate. Sometimes abundance arrives through channels that seem unrelated, doors you did not knock on, opportunities you did not plan. Do not limit the ways in which prosperity can manifest. Declare boldly, I accept wealth from all directions. I welcome financial blessings in expected and unexpected ways. I allow my supply to increase exponentially and eternally. By speaking such words, you free yourself from limitation and open the floodgates of endless multiplication. Your words are sacred instruments. They are not mere sounds, they are potent forces that shape reality. Each time you say, money flows to me easily and abundantly, you send a command into the universal intelligence that cannot be ignored. Each affirmation reinforces the pattern of prosperity within you, carving grooves in the subconscious mind that direct the invisible currents of wealth toward you. Speak consistently, speak boldly, speak with joy, and watch how the unseen world bends in accordance with your decree. Do not settle for incremental improvement when infinite expansion is available. Do not accept small victories when the universe offers limitless triumphs. Your mind, your words, your vision are capable of calling forth wealth in its most magnificent forms. Do not hesitate to ask for the highest measure, for the universe is eager to respond. Step into the full power of your identity as one who commands financial abundance, one whose words carry weight in the unseen realm, one whose consciousness shapes reality itself. Wealth is your servant, waiting for your instruction, ready to flow, ready to multiply, ready to fulfill the decree you speak with authority. Feel the energy of money gathering now, sense it moving toward you, drawn by the power of your certainty, magnetized by the vibration of your inner knowing. Imagine streams converging, currents joining, channels opening, gates widening, all responding to the clarity of your intention. This is not a dream, not a wish. It is a reflection of the universal law that abundance flows where it is recognized, where it is claimed, where it is commanded. Stand in this energy, breathe it in, speak it aloud. Money flows to me in ever-increasing measure. I command wealth to multiply forever. I am abundant, I am worthy. I am sovereign over my prosperity. Feel the invisible response. Feel the universe laboring to honor your declaration. When you embrace this truth, when you live as if wealth is already present, the need for struggle disappears. You no longer chase money, it comes to you. You no longer worry about scarcity, abundance finds you. You no longer negotiate with lack, supply multiplies at your command. The difference is in the vibration. The difference is in the authority you claim over the invisible forces. The universe never resists an empowered soul. The universe always responds to clarity, certainty, and unshakable faith in divine provision. Even in moments when your external circumstances seem contrary, maintain the inner reality. Do not allow temporary appearances to sway your vibration. The seen world is mutable, the unseen world is eternal. Speak to the unseen. Speak to the infinite. Speak to the intelligence that orchestrates all supply. And watch the outer world align itself with your inner decree. Money multiplies in invisible chambers before it appears in the physical. It responds to authority, vision, and certainty long before your eyes perceive the manifestation. This is why steadfast faith, unwavering focus, and joyful expectation are indispensable to financial mastery. As you continue to rise into the consciousness of infinite supply, remember that your relationship with money is a reflection of your relationship with life itself. If you approach life with hesitation, fear, or doubt, your financial reality will mirror those attitudes. But when you approach life with boldness, clarity, and unwavering faith, your finances respond in kind. Money is a sensitive servant, exquisitely tuned to the vibrations of your thoughts, the authority of your words, and the strength of your inner knowing. Speak to it as one speaks to a loyal ally, with respect, clarity, and unwavering command, and you will witness its faithful multiplication. Every moment presents an opportunity to assert your dominion over wealth. When a challenge arises, do not accept it as a final verdict. See it as a spiritual test, a chance to recalibrate your vibration, and a moment to demonstrate your sovereignty over circumstances. Every financial obstacle is a signal, an indicator of an inner belief that needs adjustment. Examine your thoughts, examine your words, examine your emotions. Where fear, hesitation, or doubt exists, transform it into affirmation, certainty, and gratitude. The outer world must reflect the inner decree, and by refining your inner vibration, you orchestrate the flow of wealth in the outer world with precision and ease. Affirmations are not mere phrases. They are instruments of creation. When spoken with faith, clarity, and intention, they set in motion invisible processes that work tirelessly to bring your desires into tangible form. Repeat, declare, and embody them daily. I am a magnet for unlimited abundance. Money flows to me freely, constantly, and exponentially. I command wealth to multiply forever. Let these words permeate your consciousness, saturate your feelings, and anchor themselves in your subconscious mind, where they will continue to shape the channels of supply long after you have spoken them aloud. The mind is a fertile field, and every thought is a seed. Some seeds grow into scarcity, some seeds grow into wealth. It is not the number of seeds that determines the harvest, but the quality of the seeds. Sow thoughts of abundance, expectation, and generosity. Water them with faith, sunlight them with gratitude, and guard them from the weeds of fear, doubt, and complaint. When you cultivate your inner field with the energy of certainty, the harvest is inevitable, and wealth multiplies endlessly, not through struggle, but as a natural law of life. Consider the principle of circulation. Money, like life itself, is designed to flow. When you hoard, you impede the natural course. When you release, you invite the multiplication of supply. Give generously, invest wisely, spend joyfully, and watch as every dollar returns to you multiplied. This is not superstition, it is spiritual law. When you treat money as a living force that obeys spiritual laws, it becomes your servant, your tool, your ally in the expression of your highest potential. Nothing is lost when you operate from the law of circulation. Everything is gained. The imagination is the most potent tool you possess. When you visualize wealth in motion, when you imagine opportunities aligning perfectly, when you sense the joy of financial freedom as though it were already real, you broadcast a signal the universe cannot resist. The unseen responds before the seen. Your imagination is not idle dreaming, it is the blueprint, the invisible plan from which your reality takes shape. Every detail you see in your mind's eye, every feeling you inhabit in anticipation, every declaration you speak into existence, all act together to orchestrate the tangible manifestation of your prosperity. Do not limit the universe by your thinking. Do not restrict the infinite to the boundaries of your current circumstance. Money multiplies in alignment with your spiritual vision, not your temporary conditions. You are the center of infinite intelligence, and as you think, speak, and act from that center, wealth flows naturally. Allow no restriction, no hesitation, no lingering doubt. Command, declare, envision, and act from the certainty that your prosperity is eternal, inexhaustible, and fully aligned with your purpose. Generosity is the multiplier of wealth. To give with love, gratitude, and trust activates the law of return in its most powerful form. When you bless others through your giving, when you release resources without attachment or fear, the universe responds with exponential increase. Money is a spiritual servant, and like all servants, it obeys the energy of its master. Command it wisely. Release it joyfully. Accept it gratefully. This is the secret of enduring wealth, circulation, alignment, and spiritual authority. The law of divine supply is constant, unchanging, and impartial. It waits for your recognition, your claim, your alignment. The universe has no favorites because it serves all equitably, responding only to vibration, focus, and inner certainty. When you awaken to this truth, you see that financial mastery is not a matter of struggle, but of conscious command. You do not negotiate with circumstance, you decree. You do not plead for provision, you declare it. You do not chase money, you magnetize it. The universe honors this distinction instantly, faithfully, and without exception. Every morning, affirm your authority over your financial life. Begin the day by stating, I am aligned with infinite wealth. I command money to flow freely and multiply without limit. I release all fear, doubt, and hesitation. I am deserving of abundance. I am a sovereign over prosperity. Let these words saturate your mind, saturate your spirit, saturate every cell of your being. Let them set the tone for every interaction, every decision, every opportunity throughout your day. As the vibration permeates your consciousness, the outer world will respond with corresponding alignment, offering wealth in forms both expected and miraculous. Obstacles exist only for those who honor them. When challenges appear, greet them with authority, knowing that your inner decree is stronger than any outer circumstance. Speak to the challenge, not with fear, but with the unwavering voice of command. This serves my greater good. This aligns with my prosperity. I am guided. I am protected. Abundance flows through me without impediment. Watch as resistance melts away, as paths open, as supply finds its way to you through channels you could not have predicted. Mastery over money is mastery over your inner world. The outer world is simply a mirror. You are the creator of your financial reality. Every thought, word, emotion, and action contributes to the structure of your wealth. Neglect not the power you wield. Speak with intention, act with authority, feel with certainty. The universe is ever ready to obey, ever ready to multiply, ever ready to honor the declaration of a sovereign consciousness. Stand tall, speak boldly, claim fully. Money multiplies not because it is coerced, but because it responds willingly to the vibration of certainty and spiritual authority.